Hello, everybody. This is Azhar. I am head of growth at Vitals.co. We are an all in one Shopify marketing and sales software. Customer retention is the new sexy for e commerce, and here's how to do it right. And I have to tell you that I am really obsessed about customer retention, and you will know why. But before that, let me tell you a little bit about me. So, I have been in SaaS and marketing for more than 8 years, and Vitals has like more than 22,000, sorry, merchants, and which who are actually growing their sales and revenue, as well as I have my own podcast on growth marketing stories where we also talk about customer retention and acquisition. We recently started a new series called e-commerce learning by doing on YouTube as well as on Substack. You can see here on the right side where we are starting an e-commerce store from scratch and learning and documenting over the period of time. So hope this gives you a little bit about me. One personal note, I also am living in Germany, as well as I'm also I would say like a huge cycle fan during the summer. So we drive mountain biking during the whole summer in the Bavarian Alps. And that's something I love. So I thought you should get to know a little bit about me other than work. So let me give you some context that who is this presentation for, okay? This presentation was somebody who is learning, has a learning mindset, is in e-commerce, trying to improve their numbers and are in 500K to 10 million in annual revenue, because once you have an existing customer base, only then you can focus on retention, right? So let's go next. Let me tell you and convince you why retention is really important. First of all, it costs 5x more to acquire a customer than retain one. Just like the cost is higher. And so energy is more, resources more. So why not a lot of companies focus on retention? So that's just like one example for you, like why retention is really important. The other one is that 5% of increasing in profit can be helped by retention up to 95%, which means that retention helps increase in 5% and it will increase your profit 95%. So why don't we invest in? So retention is really important, okay? And because like a little bit of efforts can actually increase the revenues. And Karthuk's CEO, the one who is who's pretty famous in e-commerce or e-commerce market, he says that without acquisition, you don't have a business, and without retention, you don't have a business for very long. So that's why retention matters a lot. So these are three reasons why you should focus on retention. But let me tell you that in any industry, I try to look at like any industry, apparel, CBD, coffee, pet, any industry. I saw that any company that has focused on retention, on average, it has increased the average order value, the revenue per customer, and still a lot of companies don't focus on it. And so that's the biggest sadness and dilemma. What I've learned over the period of time is that, like for acquisition, there are tools, there are analytics, there are systems in place to help you with acquisition. It's not a first priority for a lot of companies. And this is what I want to try to convince you today. Even though there's no a lot of system in place, you need to start building a system if you care about retention, right? And so why should you really care about retention in general? Just to summarize all the points, it will increase your profitability, right? And you will be able to invest in your growth, right? It will give returns on your initial marketing spend. You will have a stable customer base, means that you can have a predictable revenue. You will have a shorter sales cycle. If you launch a new product, existing customers are more likely to buy than your new customers. And growth is more affordable and scalable with paid acquisition if you already have customers who love your brand. And still we don't do it, right? And that's the biggest problem. Let's focus on common mistakes. First of all, what I've seen in the market. Common mistakes to fix your e-commerce retention are like things that I see in the e-commerce market and we still don't do it, right? What I've seen is over the period of time is that a lot of companies are only focusing on one time buy, one time purchase, selling a lot, giving discounts a lot, There's no storytelling in e-commerce, and there is lack of research, feedback loops, and understanding culture in the e-commerce companies. And these are all reasons why the customer doesn't stay inside your buying cycle, right, in your funnel. And we know the funnel is not a funnel, it's a flywheel. They will come back to you. The mindset that a customer is not only buying once, will keep buying, will change your entire way of operating the business. And that's what I've seen, that a lot of companies are not doing it. And this is the reason why this session is happening. So how can you actually do it? So there are two things. One thing will be strategy, give you ideas how to fix retention or find retention metrics that you want to improve. And the second thing is tactics that you can immediately apply if you have not done it, and start focusing on them, right? So how to measure retention? In order to measure retention, you need to focus, first of all, on differentiating between different kinds of customers: new customers, existing customers, loyal customers. And those loyal customers, I call it golden customers. And see the share of revenue and sales in general, like who is bringing more revenue, right? You need to see their order frequency. How much time do they buy? How long do they use it and then come back, right? Over the period of time, different kinds of customers. Based on the order frequency, you can see like which customers are buying a lot and why, and which customers are buying less and why. And then you can separate them, and so you can treat them differently. We are in the age of personalization. This is how you personalize things. You should also see marketing performance, the strategies that you run on acquisition or in retention, your coupons that you give, which of the coupons, for example, like if you have an affiliate program or an influencer marketing program, see which influencers are bringing more long-term average order value customers, increasing in than influencers who are just bringing one-time customers, and why. And so this is really important as well. And eventually you will get different cohorts. Cohorts means groups of people who are based on the customer lifetime value, based on average order value, based on number of orders, based on the value of orders, based on buying cycle. Divide these customers based on these specific cohorts or groups of people, so that you can understand like who are these golden customers, so that you can focus on them. So first of all, find them, right? That was the main thing, and measure that. Then how to think about it. You need to think in terms of that your products there are some features in your product that drive loyalty. What are those products? What campaigns are doing really well that brings loyal customers? Okay, and the third thing is stop working on influencers who are not bringing those customers, right? So you need to start thinking about that. Okay, who are bringing longer lifetime value customers? And then like start researching. Like now, once you figured out, okay, these are my ideal customers who are like golden customers who are bringing a lot of people. Find out which users are recently buying from you, and users who have bought from you 6 months ago, and then divide them based on their segments. And then run a screen survey, like a small survey, to find out why did they buy from you, what was preventing them to buy from you, what are they looking for more, what are the top 3-4 options, and also that I'll talk to you later, like understand the journey, right? And then based on that, you can also run a couple of interviews and try to even really go deep into understanding the journey. And you need to prepare for those questions to actually ask them. Eventually, you will gather all the insights for your retention marketing, and then learn based on who those golden customers are, and launch these campaigns. So basically, find who the customers are, ask them questions, those golden customers and loyal customers, and then use their insights, make insights, collect them together, and then launch a new campaign. So this is like my way of thinking of retention. But there's one big but. The but is that this advice is just take it from the pinch of salt, because you need to dig deeper. And what I mean is that you need to find your own customers, and the tactic that I will tell you now might not work for every brand. So think, first of all, once you've done the research, then you try to implement tactics, right? So whatever is coming now, you need to dig deeper first. Retention has no one way of doing things, or 2 way of doing things, or 10 way of doing things. Every company has their own way of retaining customers. You need to find what works for you. So whatever I'll tell you now, pick 1 or 2 and do it really well, right? And that's what my advice would be for increasing customer retention. So these are like 12 tactics that I've learned over the period of time that I've done it. A couple of them I've done it myself, and there are a couple of examples that can help you and see which one actually would work for you and how you can increase them. So, something more tactical that you can take it with you. So first of all, run an audit of your brand's touchpoint. What I mean here is that look at from the customer shoes. When you're doing the interview, you will create these brand touchpoints and see where exactly you're not optimizing that specific experience, which is having a customer for longer term, not just one time. So I told you about Facebook ads. Don't just try to sell one time, try to think think about this for a while, right? Even if I have bought a simple product from an e-commerce store, how can you make that experience delightful that even if though I will never come back to you, I will still promote you to my friends and say, hey, try to buy this product. So think every customer as a referral rather than every customer as just one-time buy, right? And based on that, look at the journey. When did they start thinking about the problem? Once they found the problem, what alternatives they looked at? What solutions they looked at? When did they buy? What did they exactly buy? How long did they stay inside the store to actually buy it? How was the usage? How long will the usage be? Will it be 6 months, 9 months, 12 months? How was the experience of the support? Did they come across any questions? And then focusing on repeat purchase. So these are all brand touch points that you need to think about from the start to end to actually say, okay, this is the experience I want to give to my customers, and try to audit where exactly it's not happening. Okay. Implement a tiered loyalty program. A loyalty program is basically VIP program, right? And in this, what I want to tell you is that based on how loyal each customers are, based on golden customers and diamond customers, you can divide them to different kinds of benefits. And the more they refer, the more they get back in return. And so this is a really good example by Fix. They have actually, whoever sent more people to their store got more points out of it and more benefit out of it. Simple trick that gets you more customers, increases your average order value, increases your gross margin value. Why would you not do it, right? The third is simple adding a subscription. So Shopify predicts that by next year, 2023, a lot of customers will already be buying regularly, which means that every Shopify merchant, which is in direct to consumer business, will have a subscription business. Fast moving consumer goods are basically a subscription product. So why would you not introduce it, right? That way you have a consistent business coming in, money coming in, and you have a consistent way of rewarding your customers with discounts and better offers. So that's another thing. I also think that this is a really good way to actually bring those users back to your funnel, which have forgotten about you, who have forgotten about you for the last 6 months. So think about it, running targeted ads for people whose product may have already, they bought the product from you, and then you know that after 6 months, they have to buy again, and then run the ads on them and then bring them back to buy the product. Very simple thing you can actually do to bring the customers back, and many people are not doing that. If you are a big brand, a big direct-to-consumer brand, then run a merchandising campaign. Why? Because companies like Recess are actually not just making money from their actual brand, but also through the merchandising, and that increases the virality, that increases the brand presence, that increases the eventually more customers. So why would you not do it? So Recess did a good job in this, and so I wanted to give their example. And now comes the most important part, which is okay, you have an existing database. How can you run post-purchase feedback flows? Something that can keep bringing the customer back. Birthday emails are a simple example, but shipping updates email, new product launches, new content that will help with your product. And the most important one after these are predict when your customers will buy from you again. As I said, imagine you have a product that can only be used for 6 months and then they have to buy again, right? Predict that already and then try to run those cycles as well, and try to bring them back. I think many e-commerce companies are not being able to do that. So that's something that I would recommend. offer coupons for reviews. If you don't have a subscription, if you can't make a loyalty program, perhaps as soon as they leave a review, give them some kind of coupon. So they get a discount and you get one more purchase, right? So very simple tactic that you can implement to get it. This is my favorite example, delighting customer with a direct mail letter. What Dollar Shave Club did was like, somehow their customers' credit card was expired, and they said, "Hey, your credit card has expired. This is it. Since we know your address, how about you updating your credit card, and we will give you another next time in a discount." And based on that, Dollar Shave Club was able to gain the actual address to keep shipping them the subscription packages. And they could have sent an email, they could have sent a text message, but no, they actually send a direct mail to delight the customers, right? And so I know every D2C or many D2C companies are using direct mail, right? And using SMS, using email, but like this is something that is like very unique, right? Starting a loyalty program, it's similar to VIP program, but this is like, okay, you get $20 off and bring somebody else and they get $20 off. Simple Uber strategy, works every time. And if you have a huge word of mouth, this is a good way to actually double it down. Create an affiliate or ambassador program. It's different than VIP program, which is, let's say you are focusing on people either make money from your brand. So Pella actually did that. They got too many people who were using their product, were a huge fan. They made a Instagram post about it. They got 1,400 more customers from it. They got 2,500 plus Instagram posts with it. And so why? Because they had this program where more people could make more money with them. And this was a user-generated content at mass scale to get more customers out of it. Your customers are your best sellers. Use them. Yeah. Creating a community. This is my favorite example. I think if you create a community bigger than what you really are. So for example, think about this jacket company. I like this jacket and I use this jacket, but how about it's just not jacket? How about it's like protection? And then think about what can you do around protection, or what can you do around about looking good, and make a community around it. So similarly, this company that Doing Things Network is actually has a very diverse community on and ambassadors of people are doing things outside, right? And so they celebrated these people, and this community is pretty active. Because of that, they were able to get 20% more Instagram mentions, and this Doing Things as a hashtag was really popular as well. So create a community. That would be my suggestion, and keep adding value through your content, through bringing more people, through telling more stories, through do more branding. But community is the new sexy for me, other than retention. So please do that. Upsell and cross-sell. This is the last one. This is the lowest hanging fruit, even if you don't do this entire thing. But the entire thing of retention, and you can't figure out who are the right customers. But if you already know if one product is selling well, like with this product, and people are buying for 2 different products, how about upselling and cross-selling with buy one, get one, buy X, get Y offers, or increasing the spend goal offers, like, okay, the more they buy, the more bigger discount they get, just like being in there to increasing your average order value. So this is what I would suggest you to do, like, and this is again by Dollar Shave Club, when they showed like an upsell cross-sell offer that was working really well for them. So I hope you found some tactics and strategies together working well, and you get at least 1 or 2 things out of it. My main suggestion is to think of your brand as a referral. Think of your e-commerce store as a referral tool rather than a selling tool just for one time. And that's one key information if you take out from it. Other than that, these are tools you can see that can help you increase retention. There are a lot of tools outside. You can Google them to what can help you. But basically, these tools are going to help you with the analytics of it, and then you can find who are the right customer and then double down on selling them. One thing I can tell you, Vitals can help you with upsell and cross-sell with gamification in it. So you can try use it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at azar@vitals.co. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have. And that's about it. Thank you so much for listening to me, and have rest of the nice evening, morning, wherever you are, and keep learning. Cheers. Bye-bye.